Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see, I'm not in my usual setup. I'm working from home today and I'm just here on my break drinking my coffee. But I wanted to make this video real quick. So I'm sure by now all of you guys have watched or at least heard about J-Lo and Shakira's Super Bowl halftime performance. And so, I've just been online the past few days just looking at the comments upon comments that people have made about this performance. And I'm just like, wow, like it is crazy to me how much conversation this performance has sparked, ranging from things like race, culture, sexuality, age. I mean, political stuff. Like it has literally like brought everything to light. So I just wanted to like kind of make this video and also like ask you guys opinions on this. So so I didn't watch the performance like while it was actually airing live. I watched it later that night and I have watched it once more. And I have to say I got to give these women their props cuz damn, like these women are in their 40s and like 50. Shakira, is it Shakira the one that's like 42 and J-Lo's 50 or whatever? And the fact that they still have that energy and can put on a performance like that, I mean, damn, I could never, okay? It was good. Like I'm not gonna lie, it was good. So, as soon as it happened, like my timeline, like my Facebook, was flooded with a whole bunch of basically the Latinos on my Facebook, like Latino pride. Everyone was like so happy to be Latino right now, and Latino gang, blah blah blah. Like a lot of Latin pride, was being expressed. All right, so yeah, that was one of the main reasons I went back to watch it later online, because I was like, okay, like it sounds like this was a good performance. Let me check it out. So it seems like, apart from a lot of the praise they got and they're still getting, they also got a lot of criticism, both from outside of the Latin community and even within the Latin community. So outside of the Latin community, you had a lot of Becky's complaining, saying that the show was like basically a porn show on stage, that it was too sexual, all the butt shaking and this and that. It was just totally inappropriate. And I saw a tweet or something from one, I'm assuming she was like a white lady, saying, what were they doing on stage with a Cuban flag, which, oh my God, apparently people still can't tell the difference between the Cuban flag and the Puerto Rican flag. But it was just like a hot mess, which, I belong to a mom group on Facebook for moms in my area. And that was quite funny, because there were some of the moms who thought it was totally inappropriate because, kids were watching the show, and, they're older moms at that, which is where like the whole age conversation came into play. While there were others that were like, y'all are just bitter and jealous. In reality, I didn't even think their outfits were that bad, like honestly. But yeah, they were like, y'all just jealous, y'all are hating. And honestly, I kind of have to agree. Okay, like, and a lot of them were, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen, they were bringing up the example of, what's his name, the one from Maroon 5, I forget his name right now, how he was like shirtless at the Super Bowl, and was it last year or in the previous year, whenever it was, and nobody said nothing. And not just that, but I've seen a lot of people being like, so just a month or two ago, y'all had no issue with Lizzo being on stage showing everything, it's okay for a big black woman basically to be out here on stage showing everything and dancing around, and it was all you go girl. But now that these two slimmer and whatever Latinas are doing this, now it's a problem. All right, so a big woman can prance around and it's no problem, but as soon as a small woman does it, it's an issue. So in that sense, I do feel like it's there's some hating going on. Okay. And then I also saw some like backlash from some black people saying like, how are you gonna have basically like these two Latinas on stage? It's Black History Month, blah blah blah. Um, which I was like, okay, I mean, as far as I know, the Super Bowl has no connection to Black History Month, so I don't know why that was being argued. And not just that, but from what I know, um, some Black performers didn't want to perform at the Super Bowl, or they wouldn't have anyway because they're standing in solidarity with Kaepernick. So I don't know. I don't understand what was the basis for that argument. So, those were some of the things I was hearing from outside the Latin community. Now, within the Latin community, for the most part, I would say people were happy about it, regardless of, their nationality or their color or whatever. But, of course, this did spark a lot of Afro Latinos, Black Latinos, Latinos of color, whatever they call themselves or whatever you want to call yourself, saying that where was the inclusion of Afro Latinx performers? Where were all the Black people? Why is it always the same light skinned, white passing Latinas being put on stage to basically represent the entire Latin community? And there is validity in that concern or in that point that a lot of times it's usually the whiter, lighter skinned Latinos that are in the limelight, the mainstream and all that. But at the same time, it had me thinking like, well, who would they have put? Because I mean, the only person people kept bringing up was, well, Cardi could have performed. And I mean, y'all know I'm like borderline with her, or identifying Cardi as an Afro Latina. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess I could see why some do, but I don't know. I don't necessarily consider her Black. But anyway, that's just me. But besides her, but I mean, even she turned down performing again because of the whole Kaepernick thing and all that. So I'm like, who do we have? Like, and people were also mentioning Amara La Negra, but I'm like, while I'm sure Amara could have put a bomb performance because she is an amazing performer and she's a good singer and she can dance her ass off. I mean, the truth is, at the end of the day, Amara does not have nowhere near the level of fame that J-Lo and Shakira has, which, I mean, even that in itself can be attributed to multiple things. I mean, I'm sure the race and color thing plays a factor, but also personally, I feel like Amara's music just doesn't let her go that far. Like, I don't know what it is about her music. It's just not, I don't know. Like, I have love for Amara, especially because, she's Dominican. And of course, I want to support Dominican artists, which, side note, I don't know why it is. I've always felt like Dominican artists have such a hard time going mainstream. Like, I don't know why. But anyway, but I feel like her music, it's just, I don't know if it's just that it sounds kind of outdated sometimes. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just, as much support as she has and as many fans as she has, she just has a hard time, getting in there. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. But I did really like Shakira's performance though, especially when she included the champeta part, that Afro-Colombian dance. Like, I love that, and and I love that she brought out Black performers with her, and they were like front and center with her, so that was awesome. That is one thing that I do actually appreciate about Shakira. Like, even though she is, I mean, I don't know, I guess some people would consider her white. I mean, she's light skinned, and she's half Colombian, half Lebanese. But I do feel like she does always, represent for the culture, and she does put it out there. She has showcased, Afro-Colombian music and dance on multiple occasions. So I think that's great for, on her behalf, because she's using her platform to bring light to these, these dances and cultures from her background, and that are, more, African influence. So that's awesome. Now with J-Lo's performance, there was obviously a lot of like political kind of stuff present, especially when her daughter came out, and they were basically, all the kids were in like cages. So obviously that was going back to the children of the the illegal immigrants that have been detained in these detention centers, and basically being locked behind cages. And then with all the little children on stage wearing you know, American flags on their white sweatshirts, but then also J-Lo coming out with the double-sided, you know, Puerto Rican and American flag, which, I mean, I'm sure that stood out a lot to Puerto Ricans because even though they are technically Americans, they're always kind of left out. People forget that, you know, they're American citizens, and the U.S. government certainly doesn't always treat them as such. So, you know, I think there was a lot of, you know, hidden but not so hidden messages in J-Lo's performance, and just, I mean, the whole thing in general. So in that sense, you know, I give them their props. I think there were a lot of messages that were conveyed, but at the same time, it just goes to show how uncomfortable America still is with seeing certain things. And I think it also proves how a lot of white America still don't view white Latinos, so to speak, as them. They don't see them as the same thing, you know. And I think that the backlash from white people towards Shakira and J Lo definitely showed that. Um, but I think it also showed the frustration, I guess, that Black Latinos are still feeling with the lack of representation when it comes to these super big, you know, performances and things like that. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, with, you know, all the boycott the NFL stuff going on, I don't foresee a lot of Black performers, Black Latinos included, having really, you know, put themselves out there like that. So I don't know. But anyway, okay, that was it for this video. Let me know y'all's thoughts and opinions on this. Whether you think all of this critiquing and backlash and all that was necessary, and just all the madness. But anyway, that's it for this video. Give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below, and I'll check you guys next time. Bye-bye.